So now let's see, man. I'm hearing Game dissing a homie. Hey, Game, you already know what time it is, bro. You better stop it. You better stop it, bro. Because our Compton and your Compton not the same Compton. You know that. You get what I'm saying? So relax with all that. If you trying to play with the homie name, don't do that. We both know not to. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? You not him, bro. Straight up. You not him. Yeah. No, that's a fact. Game, you not him, bro. You know that. We all know that. So chill out. If you playing with the homie. Straight like that. He already what's his Compton? Not ours. Game is a respect the game, bro. Respect the game, but his Compton not our Compton, man. He ain't the Compton like real Compton is, bro. That's how I feel right now. If you gonna bash my, I gotta get at you like that. I gotta get at you like that. Like honestly, your Compton not like where we come from in Compton, bro. You wasn't in the field like that. Stop acting like that. You an acting fool. Straight up. Like, stop playing games about it. Because we keeping the city at ease with you right now. Stop playing. If you play.
Did Game actually diss Kendrick Lamar though in this tirade? We only got about 5 minutes of it. So I'm gonna break down certain aspects that I think need to be broke down because we got some answers for some of these questions that Chuck Taylor, aka Game, is talking about.
In itself, I put Kendrick in places that, I wanted to be, that I wish would put me. And I didn't ask for nothing in return. I didn't ask for nothing in return. Top Dog, I'm saying this and I know it's gonna go to the internet. Top Dog wanted to give me half a TV. I told him I got Black Wall Street, it's good, bro. I want to see you win. You do you good, make that shit bigger than everything. And he did. So I got love for him.
When he says half, if Top come out and he confirmed this, I'm gonna assume that Top Dog wanted Game to invest. Because the cosigns and all that and everything, way back when, they were pretty good, but it wasn't a sign, seal, and deliver. When you typically rocked with an artist or rock with an artist, y'all do songs with them. I think it was Big Sean who said that, like, Red, no. It was Kanye West about Big Sean when Kanye West was like, I could have just sung him and been like, you cool, I rock with you and all that, but nah, we had to get some paperwork done and do all this shit. And that's one of the things I appreciate about the old Kanye. When he used to preach that shit, bruh was on some real shit. Hopefully he back, man, and all the other shit is gone. But yeah, bruh, if Top come out and say that, Mac Wop, what you just said, I'm going to be fair. That shit ain't needed. I get what he's saying, though, but let's hear if Game disses Kendrick Lamar.
And also, when this nigga Dre came in the game, he adapted to me, homie. Like, we got close. Drake is on my albums way back then. He on Good Girls, Bad Girl on nigga album that came out in fucking 2009 or 10 or some shit.
And Drake doing Good Girls Go Bad, bruh. I'm going to be honest, I function with that song highly. And it showed me how goddamn Drake was going to be great when he hopped on that with Game. And to give it 100% up to Game and Drake, that song did come out in 2009. The Jodeci Back shit came out years later. So in that instance, Game, you should have led with that. Nigga, you should have said, I've been cool with him since 2008, 2009. Every time I need him, he pull up. Every time he need me, I pull up. Bruh, I'm not changing on somebody that I think is my homies. Y'all seen me lose my friendship with 50 Cent over that with Jadakiss. That's all you literally had to say. And nobody would have been like, man, Game, you tripping, you doing all this shit. But it's like, you don't write down your thoughts before you just say shit. When you speak, they're going to overly criticize everything you say. Flat out. If Game would have came out with this shit right here, and would have literally said, hey, man, I've been rocking with Buddy since 2009. Whatever happened with them, bro, that happened years afterwards. So, yeah, nah, man, shit, you should have did that in the beginning.
I'm I'm not no, yeah, same. I'm not no type of, I don't flip-flop on my friends, son. I don't flip-flop on my friends. If Drake is in town, he got a show, and they want to go, and I call them, put them where they want to be and all their friends and take out. I turn my back on a nigga like that. I don't want a nigga that I help usher into the game, meaning like Kendrick and, you know, Top and all of that. I don't want them to feel a way about my decisions about what I do as a real because I was a real to y'all, I'm a real to him, I'm a real to everybody in this room. And if anybody in here that knows me, that's my friend, from Kyle and Louie, the Phonics, to Mike and Keys, to RJ, to HD, to Sonic, to DJ Nine, to Charisma. If anybody feel like I ain't been real with you, here's the mic. Come tell me I haven't been a real with you since the day I met you. Nobody ain't gonna do that. So it's like all the capping, all the disrespect on my you got to be fucking kidding me after the work I put in.
Unless you talking about JT the bigger figure with what you're saying, because it seemed like somebody who want to call you out, you ain't gonna respond to him and all that.
The way he did me is the same way he tried to do 50 Cent. Now, let me tell you what that is. He was signed to Dr. Dre, I think, end of 2003. I had Game February 2002. But 2002, 2003, I'm promoting Game through the mixtapes and through the independent circuit. I'm paying for the Double XL magazine ads and all these different things. So I'm just continuing to invest into a product that I have on my label. But those songs are the songs that Aftermath eventually signed him to. But then once they signed him, he didn't produce, I guess, enough songs for Dr. Dre to activate his own thing with Game. But 50 Cent gave him a chance and put the extra stamp and allowed him to come into the G-Unit family. And that right there is what boosted it and activated his own album to actually be coming out.
Right.
So I seen the way he did 50 Cent is that the people told him, you better than 50. You more gangster than 50.
Because there was a moment in time there around the time the documentary came out where it very much was like, it just seemed like the Game was like surging past 50. And it was because he had hot ass songs like Hate It or Love It. And, you know, 50 was like maybe not going crazy with new music at that time. And yeah, that definitely did feel like it was a big part of that.
I think he caved into the pressure of, man, you don't need him. Man, it's the West Coast. Man, you like 50. But what 50 had that Game didn't have was the business knowledge.
I don't know how it ended, when it ended and all this shit and everything, bro. I ain't talked to Game in like, 15, 20 years, I feel like. Yeah, it might be 15 years. And that was only one conversation. But I done talked to JT a couple of times. Game never came up. Nash, you're putting yourself in the middle of the story. Anyways, the only person that could really say that they have a gripe with you would be JT the bigger figure. Because you were intelligent enough, Game being intelligent enough to know staying in Compton ain't gonna get everything you need. You gotta go travel California. Then you gotta go hit the Oregons, the Washingtons, the Utahs, the freaking Arizonas, the Nevadas, you feel me? The New Mexicos and all this shit. Hell, the Colorados. You definitely gotta hit Colorado. You gotta hit Kansas City, Missouri. You got to hit all those places and spaces. Then you got to hit the Oklahomas. And if you good enough there just in that run, then you can bring it down to Texas. But let's continue on.
And so, what the documentary 3 is, that wasn't for them. They good. This one just graduated from college. This one ain't got, like, my kids was good. I'm not doing it for them no more. They straight. They good off the residuals from the old. This album, the documentary 3, is so stop playing with me. Yeah. Don't play with me. I'm 21 years, 22 years in this shit. It ain't a rapper on this planet that don't know that I'm with all the and so it's the pen, it's not just the pen game, right? It's not just the pen. That shit, I studied it so much. I studied rap like I was studying to be a doctor, so you cannot play with me there. I will find a flow, and I will find the pocket, and I will annihilate you, especially if it's your own style, not mine. And then,
Nobody is saying Game can't rap. They might say your beat selection has been off a little bit, but nobody's saying Game can't rap, bro. You're making, I ain't gonna say you're making shit up, but you reading too much into the trolls. There's nobody who's saying Game can't rap. They may say you can't beat certain rappers, rapping and all that shit and everything, and you gonna be who you gonna be. You a rapper. You're not supposed to ever say no shit like that. But ain't nobody on no soapbox saying Game can't rap.
As far as being a real and holding down the West Coast kid, cut this shit. Cut this shit. I call Face with my own homies to take Nipsey on tour.
Only holding
Hey, look, I call Face with my own homies to take Nip on tour. But I can't seem to get in touch with Blacc Sam to holler at him though. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Well, your manager and Blacc Sam got issues. Remember, he told Rockstar leave and go back and get it cracking. But it ain't even just that. If you really wanted to holler at Blacc Sam, I don't think Blacc Sam got no issues with Game. Pull up on him at a Marathon Burger, bruh. Blacc Sam be in the back working, running businesses and all that shit. He ain't got no time to sit around and all that. Game, you done made your millions and millions and millions and millions. Blacc Sam is trying to make more millions and more millions and more millions and more millions because he got a whole legacy he has to continue that he built with somebody that's no longer here. Man, Chuck, you know if you really wanted to goddamn holler at Blacc Sam, bro, you could pull up on him at a Marathon Burger and ain't no, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be all love and shit, bro. So that right there, nah, bro. I gotta call you out on that one, bro. Blacc Sam is hard to reach, of course, but it ain't hard to get up with him.
I put Kendrick on his first mixtape. I took Kendrick on tour. I showed Kendrick nothing but love. But I can't get on the phone with him. I ain't gonna call a nigga every day. I ain't no hoe. I'ma just let you know that it ain't no static, so you hear it from my voice in between us. Top dog, I can call on the phone. I can call him and everybody know that I ain't holding my tongue for nobody. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Because what's the worst that can happen to a nigga on this planet? He gonna die. But ain't that the inevitable? Nobody living, nothing living, not a flower, not a fucking roach, not a butterfly, nothing living will leave here alive. That's my passion. Everybody in this room is breathing. Everybody that came here got a family. Everybody that came here's heart is beating. Everybody that came here breathes and does the same thing I do every day. So I ain't no better than nobody in this room. And we ain't no better than nobody that ain't in this room. That's the fucking problem. Is everybody think they something the next person not, but we all just human. I've been trying to bridge that gap on the West Coast for a long time.
You had Black Wall Street. You had it. You had a whole rap label. You had a bunch of LA cats, bunch of Compton cats. You had, forget who you had from Inglewood. Bro, you had that, but you was too busy profiting from beef. Gang gotta take some of this blame here, bro. You were profiting off of the same beef that 50 Cent was profiting off of way back when. So to sit here and say that shit, nah, bro. Nah. You didn't think long term. You were putting people on. You had your label. You could have did all this shit, but you flat out just didn't. And that's a you thing. When you had the light, you had Cicero and all that. You had the young boy from Philly and all that and everything, bro. But you were too busy engaging in beef. That's literally what you were doing. You kept taking the short-term success instead of thinking about the long-term success. You didn't establish a studio that y'all need to be at, a list of engineers, young talent, young freaking videographers, none of that shit. You didn't have none of that. Because it was easy to get hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars just beefing. So, nah, bro, that's hell nah. I'm not co-signing that one.
And I'll give you a little history lesson. All the shit that I caught flack for, try to fight me for. My own homies, when I put my album out, the documentary one, the first thing I said on the album was Crip. I said Crip blood because I'm already a blood. So we good over there. We good over here. But let's show these some love first. Let them know I fuck with them too.
One could say that y'all was beefing heavier with the essays instead of other Pyrus and Crips. during that time, Archives served me right. Man, them Pyros was beefing heavier with the essays than anybody at that time. So, shit, you could have said Crips, essays, Bloods, Asians, or essays, Crips, Bloods, Asians. So some of that, bro, was you trying to be on some pro-black shit at the time? I don't know, bro, but to me, if they was really gonna trip, in my opinion, or you was really on some unity shit, bro, I would have thought you would have came harder for the essays than you would have for the Crips.
You know what I'm saying? And I've always been doing that, bro. For everybody. I always get on, put on. I never signed one artist. I never did. Because I feel like, I don't gotta do that to get you on. Let me just walk you over here with Dr. Dre. Yada, yada, yada. And I did it. And Dr. Dre, we got this weird brotherhood, big brother, but you know what it is with me, man. Everybody know what it is with me. Everybody in this room, man. And at the end of the day, I really, when I tap out like today.
Here's the truth of all this shit. And some of y'all will say, Nash, you biased towards game or whatever and all this shit and everything like that. And if you say that, then you say that, and that's cool. I'm not tripping. The issue is this. Kendrick Lamar doesn't see what you see. They already told you, bro, like to control his circle and all that shit and game you a live wire. I think even you would admit it. So there's that part. But the more interesting part is this. If you want to really do some shit, go start another label, get some rappers, and start doing it that way. Start putting yourself out there and start becoming the next Lil Wayne when he found Drake. If you really, really, really serious about your craft and your longevity and all this shit and showing you can still do this because you got Draco on this shit and all that, bro, you should be finding the next individuals. Hell, you got whack bald head ass and y'all could be doing shit. You could be reaching out from Northern to Southern California. You could hire talent from Dago, get some rappers there, get some rappers from Sac, shit, some rappers from Stockton, some rappers from the Bay. Hell, you could get rappers from Merced and Modesto. Bakersfield, Fresno. You can reach out and get rappers from Phoenix, untapped markets. You can get cats from Portland, cats from Seattle, hell, Spokane. But y'all not doing that. See, the issue with these rappers when they get older is they're still trying to show they still got it, when in all actuality, you should be forming the Avengers. Everybody's still gonna have their favorites. They still gonna do certain things. They still gonna do all of this other shit. But look how these cats from Atlanta was doing shit once upon a time. When Lil Jon was the undisputed king, he was doing songs with everybody. And still Lil Jon, even after all of that, still has a step that he could put on people. You go to the freaking TIs. You go to the Gucci Manes before the BS. You go to the Young Jeezys and all that shit. And the way that they're building, the way that they keep it going. That's the shit that's missing. Is everybody wants to compete, but what you're missing is new sound. Y'all missing new visuals, new merch, new all of this shit. Rap is going to remain relevant because it has the essence and the aura of the younger crowd, the younger generation, so that they can have a seat at the table and be heard. And that's why it keeps thriving. Y'all miss that shit. Why? I don't know. But the fact you knew to pull up to streams and all of this shit and the rock with Neon and all that, bro, you don't think that you should be doing this shit with these rappers everywhere else? That's my stomach. It's time to eat. Subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified. Share to keep your people aware, man. Fujiano is out. And he got some goddamn words for Gucci, man. Click right here to see that video or click right here for the playlist. And I will catch you on the next one. Reload it. Y'all come on back now.